What is retranslation? Well, I'm glad you asked because I think I have a definition for you right there. Okay, it's a bit abstruse. ST is the source text, the start text, the original, the text in the foreign language, and it's translated once into the TT, the target text. I go Quixote from Spanish into English, that's a translation, the first one. But I didn't do the first translation into English. So other people come along and translate that same text into the same language a second time, TT2, third time, fourth time, etc., to TTN. There are many, many retranslations of Don Quixote from Spanish into English. They are all retranslations except the first one. Not to be confused with indirect translation. What's indirect translation? It's when that first translation, let's say I translate Quixote from Spanish into English, is then translated into Chinese, for example, from my English version, because the translator was not too sure about the early 17th century Spanish, for example. Okay, that would be indirect translation. It's quite a normal practice in the world. There are many, many indirect translations. What's the difference? A retranslation is into the same language, a second, third, fourth time, etc. And an indirect translation is into another language, an extension, a different language. Are the two terms watertight? No, because, for example, if I'm translating a classic text like Quixote, and there are many, many points that are very, very difficult to grasp, I might go and look at a French translation or a German translation, etc., and draw on them for my translation or ideas on them. What does that mean? I'm doing a retranslation, but I'm incorporating elements of indirect translation into the process. Note also that indirect translation in interpreting in the booth is usually called relay translation, and it's again a very, very common practice. Why is retranslation interesting? Well, when you get these different retranslations over a length of time, over a century or two, it's obvious you're going to compare them and see what happens. One hypothesis that's been kicking around at least since Goethe is called these days the retranslation hypothesis. It says that the later the translation, the closer it comes to the ST. The idea is that the receiving culture becomes more sophisticated, it can take more interest in the foreign culture, it wants more details about that culture, it wants to come closer to the language of the text, for example. Is the hypothesis true? Does it hold? Almost all the studies find that not really. Something like that can happen, but there tend to be many, many other factors involved, and the history of translation history is in those other factors rather than the demonstration of an abstract law. There you have it. Retranslation is not indirect translation, and it can be an interesting thing to study and to test the hypothesis.